Hi, I'm Chef Alycia Nicole AKA Foodie Engineer, and today we are going to prepare for a tailgate or Super Bowl party. What I wanted to do is make a chili, something that's versatile that you can do and everybody can enjoy it. You can put it on nachos, you can put it on potatoes, and so I've got a pot heating up, added some avocado oil, you can use vegetable oil, anything with high heat, anything that will take high heat, and we'll review our ingredients. So we've got our vegetables. This is a Poblano pepper, looks like this. We've got a little bit of jalapeno, that's up to you on how much you use. We've got bell pepper, any color, it doesn't matter. I don't know the difference in flavor. And you can use, and then you've got onion, of course, for more aromatics. And as much garlic as you'd like. Chili is very versatile, like I said. You can use a lot of ingredients or a few ingredients. I'd even consider putting in butternut squash to kind of stretch it out as well if you're having a larger party. So, I hear my pot sizzling. Bell peppers, garlic, get all of that in there. Poblano peppers. And jalapeños. I'm using beef. You can use ground turkey if you want to go lighter. If you want to go heavier, you can use pork. I was thinking about even adding chorizo sausage in it as well. And we just want to mix this around and make sure that our vegetables get cooked through, kind of softened as they saute. So while that cooks, we'll review our spices. So we've got cumin, we've got Ancho chili powder, regular chili powder, salt and pepper. These are all kind of go as you feel. I can feel the peppers in the back of my throat already. So that's why I didn't go too heavy on Ancho chili, but I do want a little kick in the chili. Now once we get a little bit of translucency in our vegetables, our onions, we add about a pound of ground beef. And all of that's going to cook together. You want to break up your meat so that it cooks evenly. This is a smaller portion just because we're not having a whole crew over. There's all sorts of things you can add to it. You could use one of those flavor cubes, the Maggi cubes. You can put in spring onions to top it afterwards. Top it with cheese, red onion, cilantro, just to make it festive. All right, so this is pretty well cooked, still a little pink, but remember, chili just gets better after time, so you want to cook it and cook it and cook it. So even if you cook it the day before, because oftentimes the grease from the beef is kind of heavy in there, so if you chill it, you can scrape that grease off and then reheat it for the next day. Use it for nachos, top baked potatoes, all that fun stuff. Sweet potatoes. Season up our meat with all of those seasonings. That is smelling good. I'm going to cut up a little bit of this chipotle pepper. A little bit goes a long way. I have family that some like heat and some don't want too much, so we go in between. We're going to add our crushed tomato. I like to rinse this with water and use the water just because we don't like to waste. And swirl that around. Alright. And now we just let that simmer for probably 45 minutes. You can add water just so that everything melds together as it's cooking. You don't want it boiling though, so you want to turn it down once you see bubbles, the big bubbles. Just so that it kind of calms down and is just simmering. So we do that. The last thing we do is put the beans in, because you don't want the beans to be mush like, you know, like we eat our beans with cornbread and rice and stuff. You don't want that. You want the beans to stay whole. So while this cooks down, we're gonna make a quick salsa. So we're gonna make a quick salsa. I learned this actually traveling in Mexico, and it's kind of mimicking a like a wood stove. So we've got plum tomatoes, a tomatillo that actually looks like this when you get it, and you want to pull off the paper. It's usually easier to do, but it has a sticky film to it, so once you pull the paper off, once you pull that layer off, you want to rinse it because it's like a sticky, it's real tacky. So that's what we did here, so it's smooth. And then we have some jalapeno, but not a whole jalapeno. Feel free if that's what you like, but I took the seeds out and most of the rib just because we don't want it too hot. You can add heat, but you can't really take it away. So, and then we have onions and some garlic. So what we do is have this on a high flame and just keep turning it when you get a little blistering on the vegetables. So you might smell it, and that's typically kind of what I do. If I smell it, then I'm gonna start turning it because you want some char in your salsa. It gives it a little depth of flavor and just some more color to the salsa. So what we do is we cook this not to pulp. We just kind of blister the skins, and then we add it to a blender. Add some salt and lime, and you've got your salsa. Obviously, you want to do this ahead of time. Put it in the fridge to cool, and you know, folks can enjoy. And it's, you know, very easy to make more if need be. Remember, this is a dry pan, so meaning no oils are added. We just put the fruits, tomatoes are fruit, and vegetables in, and I guess tomatillo is probably a fruit too, and let it blister, get some char on the skin, and then we put it in the blender. Okay, so I actually took the vegetables and fruits off of the stove and put them in a blender. But before I get to that, I wanted to take a look at the chili and add a couple more ingredients. So I like a lot of corn, and actually I tasted it and it needs some sweetness. So I would add corn to this. I'll put the whole thing in. No one's gonna say, I think your chili has too much corn, so add it. And then we've got kidney beans. They may say it has too much beans, so be careful. Might be a long night. We stir that up, and I have several tasting spoons, clean tasting spoons. So we take a little taste. I like it. I'm gonna add a little salt. While that's doing that, it's got a little heat to it. I like it. All right. We add the blender to its stand, and it's gonna be noisy. So you don't want to puree it unless that's what you prefer. I like a few chunks in my salsa, and then like I use this on eggs in the morning if I have leftovers from the Super Bowl party or whatever. But you know, this can be used on a whole bunch of stuff. So we take another spoon, taste the salsa. That's very watery because I didn't put any salt in it yet. So you put, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon of salt, a lime that we roll out to get the juices good, and we cut that in half, typically on a cutting board. And I just want to squeeze about half a lime in there. And actually, it's blended enough, so I'm going to stir it up. Get another spoon. Perfect. So that is our salsa. Real easy, quick. You can add this to avocado and kind of make a guacamole if you don't want to do, you know, all the different ingredients in it. It's the similar ingredients in guacamole, or at least similar flavors. Cook your chili as long as you like. When you plate it, in fact, we'll do a small one. Make sure you get a lot of the meat and also the liquid. And you can put some scallions or green onions on it. And then a little bit of cilantro to make it pretty. Cheese, red onions. You can make a chili bar and have your sweet potatoes sit in there, your nachos, and your chili, your red onions, scallions, cilantro, cheese, extra, what are they called? Pickled jalapeños, things like that, and you can put it on. To lighten this up, again, you can use turkey, you can use chicken broth, what else? Oh, yeah, you can make it vegetarian or vegan. You can make it vegan. This is, like I said, it's super versatile. It'll be for everybody. You know, the kids will like it. The old folks like it. Everybody enjoys it. My grandmother actually used to make chili every Saturday at her house in Detroit, and everybody from the neighborhood would expect that they would stop by for a bowl. So this is kind of inspired by Gertrude Beard. Anyway, I would say go Lions, but that didn't happen. So, you know, root on your whatever team you're rooting for. But halftime show, I heard it's a great game at the concert. Again, I'm Alycia Nicole, Chef Alycia Nicole, also known as Foodie Engineer. You can catch me on Instagram at Foodie Engineer, Facebook Foodie Engineer, and YouTube.